So let's look at part 2. So show that the outstanding loan at the start of end month after their monthly repayment is given by this expression here. Now, when it comes to finding general term, just like in secondary school, what you need is actually to be able to pattern recognize. So when it comes to pattern recognition, I always tell my students that you need to be able to have a system to present your working. And the next thing that you need to remember is don't use GC. As much as pattern recognition is concerned, you need a pattern and you don't use your GC to do it. Okay, so don't just remember that. So for part 2, we need to do that first. So try to understand the whole processes here. So they all take a loan of N. It starts off with, let me just write down so I'm going to just put this out. It starts off with 1st September, right? So this is 1st September. 1st September, money repayment commenced on 1st September are due and payable on the first day of September until their housing loan is fully paid. They charge, so let's try and understand. So interest is charged before each month repayment. So you charge the interest first, then only you pay. Okay, so interest charge. Okay, then after repayment. This is important. You need to know the sequence here. So 1st September 2021 is this one over here. Maybe I just don't put first, I just put September. Okay, so interest charge will be L times 1 after interest charge. After interest charge. Okay, the amount owed after interest charge. Not interest charge, sorry, after interest charge, because the total amount after interest charge. So this will be 1 plus P over 122. This is what it needs, right? Then after which after repayment, what happens here is actually you just minus of X. Then from here, what we'll get is actually just L 1 plus P 1200 minus of X. This is the repayment that he does, right? Then after which, what we need is apply another interest. So after September is October 2021. When you go over to this side here, you need to charge by 1 plus P over 1200. Okay, this is the interest that you need to charge on this. So what we need here is actually just this is a typical question which we've done many times in class. So you should be able to use the what do you call it, the worksheet that we've gone through for promo revision set or prelim revision set to be able to do this. Okay, but it's just that a lot of moving parts in terms of because there are a lot of unknowns here. So once you're done, this is minus X. So every time you cross this divide here, just minus of X, because you charge interest here. Then after you repay by an amount of X. So this will be, I'm going to remove the dollar sign because it's getting a bit more. 1000 minus X 1 plus P over. Okay, actually it's quite redundant now. So I could actually see what's going on really. So for this one here, this is November. So the rule of thumb is, when do you stop? You stop when you can actually write the subsequent expression without the intermediate step, without the leading the between steps. Okay, so this case here, if you're going to do this, is L 1 plus P 1200 and just multiply by this. So this is multiply every term. Okay, every term has to be multiplied. So this and this. So this will be 1P over here minus X 1 plus P over 1200. Okay, then same thing. What we're going to do is just minus of X here. In this case here, what we get is actually just L 1 plus P over 1200. 1 plus P over 1200 square plus P over 1000 minus X. Okay, there you go. Once you're done, we could just write down what's the next thing is show that the outstanding loan at the start of end month after their monthly repayment is given. So we want the start of end month. So this is start of end month here. This is what we want. Okay, so let me just write it down, the subsequent one, which is we need to multiply by, this is P the start of n month. So we are looking at the start here. Is it after or after their repayment? After their monthly repayment. After the monthly repayment will be here. Here, this portion, not the start, okay? So here. So always read the question properly. But anyway, because it's a showing question, you will know that you get it or you don't get it. Okay, now, this is what you're going to do. What you do is, we're going to try and better recognize this. In class, I've mentioned many times, typically, when you're trying to better recognize, you need a anchoring number, a running number here. So you can't possibly do this pattern recognition without a running number. So you just put a 1 here, 2, 3, and if you want, you can put a 4. Okay. So then to be safe, what you do is you just write the subsequent pattern here without the intermediate step here. So what we do is this will be 4 minus x 1 plus. If you can safely write this out, means you already know how to pattern recognize it. Okay, so it means now you just need to find a way to write it down in formula form. Okay, so this case here, remember this part here, this front part here is what we call this is not a GP here. Okay, so there are usually two parts here. The first part is just normal secondary school pattern recognition. The one behind here is a GP. Okay, because you see that whenever you multiply something here, this is multiplied 1 plus p over 1200, and same thing, there's a common ratio here. When you multiply over, there's a L here, so it's not. So there are two parts here. Okay, so let me just separate it out and see how. So this is a GP. This whole thing here is a GP. Here. Okay, so this is a GP. So what I'll usually do is I will just tell student, I'm going to factorize the negative out here, then I'll factorize the negative out, and I'll factorize the negative out here. Okay, here. Just factorize the negative out so that this will become a sum of GP. So GP is the one behind. Then this is just normal secondary school pattern recognition. Okay, so this GP, we'll talk about it. So let's look at nth month. At the end of nth month, after repayment, they want after repayment, so just be mindful of that. Look at this running number. So when this is 1, this is power 1. Okay, this is quite straightforward. Let me just use another color here. So when this is 1, this is 1. This is 2, this is 2, this is 3, this is 3, this is 4, this is 4. So when this is 4, this is L times this whole expression to the power 4. L times, when 3, this is L times this whole expression to the power 3. And L times the whole expression to the power 2. So when it's N, naturally, what you get is actually just L 1 plus P 1200 to the power of N. Okay, so just look at this. When this is 4, this is 4. So when this is N, so N, when this is N, what you expect is this will be power N. For the last part here, this, like I said, we've done this many times in class already. So if you can't do this, please go and get the worksheet that I've compiled for you just to practice this. Okay, if you can't do this, you really need to practice this. It's a very, very common question. What you need to do is actually the first term. First term is actually x. Okay, so first term is x. Common ratio r is actually this 1 plus p over 12. Okay, because every time you go over, you just multiply by 1 plus p over 1200, right? So every time you just multiply by the same term here. So this is multiplied by r, multiplied by r, multiplied by r, multiplied by r, and multiplied by r. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so this is a sum here. So let me just write this sum down for you. This is S1 because there's only sum of one term of this GP. This is S2. So actually this is a pretty simple. This is S3. This whole thing is 3 terms here. This is S4. Okay, so when this is 4, this is S4. When this is 3, this is S3. When this is 2, this will be S2. So if this is N, obviously you will know that this is minus Sn, right? And this over here, Sn, we just use our favorite GP formula, which is actually 1 plus P, 1200N. My A is actually, the first term is X. So this over here, the GP formula is actually A R minus 1 over R minus N, R minus 1. R to about N minus 1 over R minus 1. So just put it as X. 1 plus P, 1200 above N minus 1. This is 1 plus P over 1200 minus 1. And very simply, we did get the answer. Yes, we got the answer there. Yeah, we got the answer there. LP about L. Yes. That's why it's always good to, I think for showing question usually is good because you will know that your answer is correct. But at the same time, you also know that you're pretty much good if you can get the answer, right? Okay, but just keep practicing. Yeah, this is important question, very important. So this will be 12x over P. I'll just write this down. Okay, 1200 over P is 1 plus P. Do we need to multiply this out in? Okay, we need, yeah, okay, no need. Okay, so that's how we do this questionnaire proficiently. If you have any questions, please let me know and let's look at the subsequent part.